All I care about is my relatives. Let me drive this home. All I care about is a nigga disrespecting my relative, nigga. That's all I care about, boy. That's all I care about.
He on the run right now. Woo! I started to, God, I started to pray right then. Oh shit!
Hey, is everybody on track? Cause this Friday ain't black. Cause we ain't buying shit. We ain't buying shit. Well, I stand up and never quit. We ain't buying shit. From the 25th of November to the 5th of December. Remember, we ain't buying shit. We ain't buying shit. This Friday ain't black. Cause we got each other's back. We ain't buying shit. We ain't buying shit. We ain't buying. We ain't buying shit. Shaka Khan.
I'm gonna let you know right now, your mama's a hoe. It doesn't matter that that's your mama and what your certain feelings about her. Your mama is a hoe. She's a hoe.
I'm selling coats. I'm selling coats. I'm selling coats.
I beg your pardon?
I'm selling coats. I'm selling coats.
I'm supposed to feel sorry for that bitch. I don't.
Because I've lost all respect for that bitch. B-I-C-T-H. And I'm standing on it.
Because y'all got false narratives out there, and y'all should be ashamed of y'allself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power.
Just to let you niggas know, we don't need y'all. We want y'all, but we don't need you.
20 years later.
Our black men, we want all y'all back. Because we love you, we see you, kings, and most importantly, we need you. And most importantly, we need you.
And most importantly, we need you.
My man.
I put your pink, my booty hole brown. What a nigga, I'm looking for the hoes. We're playing nigga, come suck a bitch toes. Pound town, just left pound town. Put your pink, my booty hole brown. What a nigga, I'm looking for the hoes. We're playing nigga.
See my man.
I put your pink, my booty hole brown. What a nigga, I'm looking for the hoes. We're playing nigga, come suck a bitch.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
The racism that you're experiencing and the struggle to make ends meet actually means the diet don't work for you the same.
Yes, I'm speaking to you. Musty tether, where you fleeing to? Musty tether, yes, I'm speaking to you. Musty tether, where you fleeing to? I got into my Uber, what did I see?
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Again!
Because Trump bad. Trump bad.
Going, you're being a racist! Racist!
of shit is that?
I'ma tell you. I'ma tell you. You're not gonna tell me. I'ma tell you. I'ma tell you. You heard what I said, cause I'ma tell you. You're not gonna tell me. I'ma tell you.
You're the kind of woman that I could give a lot of game. As much as you retire, love. Well, maybe you don't have to ask. And I'd give you love. Hey, that's that jam. I'd buy your clothes. I would cook your dinner too. Soon as I get home from work.
Hell no! Hell no! Hell
And we're done. We're done. We're finished.
We like free stuff. Huh? So we came out here to get all this free stuff. Huh? But then the car saying, you can't get the free stuff. What? Cause the people want to take it. And how y'all gonna take some stuff that ain't even yours? It's free.
So I got my 2 baskets and took the bus or whatever.
Wait a damn minute.
We get down here, we get some free stuff.
We're already in a recession. Times are hard. Why not just let us get the items and invest and be okay? We are Black women. We care about our crown. Why not give back to the community and let us get the product? The tools, any other eviction.
It is difficult. You don't go blind because you married. I see titties and booties every day. Huh? I see titties and booties every day. I see titties and booties every day. I see titties and booties every day. Brothers, y'all gonna leave me out here? I need the men to stand up and say amen. If you ain't said that, all sir.
Let the church say amen.
Titties and booties, titties and booties, titties and booties. I see titties and booties, titties and booties, titties and booties, titties and booties. I see titties and every day. Titties and booties, titties and booties, titties and booties. I see titties and booties, titties and booties, titties and booties, titties and booties. The wing makes go.
What kind of shit is that?
Booties, booties and titties and titties and booties, titties and titties and titties and every day. Booties and titties and titties and booties, booties and titties and titties and booties, booties and titties and titties and booties, booties and titties and titties and every day. Titties and booties, 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 titties and booties. I need the men to stand up and say amen. Brothers, y'all gonna leave me out here? Titties and booties, titties and booties, titties and booties. I see titties and booties, titties and booties, titties and booties, titties and booties. I see titties and every day, titties and booties.
Hey there, besties. We back. I don't know why I decided to do this, child. Saturday nights is not my night. It's really not. But I said I would do it. We here. Shout out to y'all that are here. I see you. I appreciate you. Please make sure you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. We got to see what Anton said when he went on to Stephen A. Of which I have seen a couple of clips. I have seen a couple of clips from different people who have already done a review or at least put out content on it. And interesting. All I'm going to say is interesting. Now, you know, the low-hanging fruit. The low-hanging fruit is no longer in my algorithm, so that's a great thing. But that's what Anton said the other day on the Millionaire Morning Show, is that ain't nobody got time for the low-hanging fruit. Well, basically what he has done is, again, allowed them to eat for another month, because you already know they're going to be carrying on about what he said and how he said it and who he said it to. All of it, child, all of it. So whatever. Somebody sent me a thumbnail of something that one of those low-hanging fruits is doing, and I'm just like, scraping at the bottom of the barrel. And then this came out. I said, I guess they can get a reprieve now because of this interview. But we're about to go ahead and take a look at that. How long is this interview, actually? This is, not even an hour long. All right, so it might not take too long. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. Shout out to all of y'all that are here. Please make sure you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Shout out to everyone that was here this morning. Tomorrow, I am not going to do a morning stream. Tomorrow is Palm Sunday, so I am doing something else. But if I get home in a timely manner, maybe I will do an afternoon stream. Okay? So just an FYI on that, I will not be doing it 10 a.m., 11 a.m. tomorrow. I'm not doing it. All right? So we're going to get right into it because we done already been here today. So Stephen A. Smith hosted Anton. And we need to know what Anton says because, child, everybody going to have a fit because, child, when Anton talks, just like E.F. Hutton, everybody listens, child. I still don't have my earpiece in. I think it needs to be charged, so I got it charging. So hopefully that will work. But let's see what it is, child. Let's go.
Welcome. This is a special edition of Straight Shooter with yours truly. When I sit down and talk with people, I've got requirements. I want you to be smart. I want you to be fearless in articulating your thoughts. Very, very open, very candid about who you are, what you want, how you feel, and why. And to have just interesting conversation, whether we agree or disagree, or whether we're just conversing about a multitude of subjects that we want to talk about. I love talking to people like that. I want people to know that when you see a show like this, understand that it's to have a conversation, that everybody is welcomed. Since I started Straight Shooter, that airs on SiriusXM Public Radio Channel 124 every Wednesday night from 6 to 8 p.m. And plus, I include stuff on my YouTube channel. I've had 38 guests, 19 Republicans, 19 Democrats. And along the way, I've had pundits from both sides of the aisle. Well, there's somebody that's growing in the mind's eye and needs to continue to grow because when he speaks, he's worthy of being listened to because he's smart and he's fearless about what he has to say and how he feels and why. You know what? He's also respectful, so long as you make sure you're respectful to him. That's my kind of brother right there. I'm looking forward to having this conversation.
Well, honestly, that's how it should be. But, like we talked about earlier today, people don't know about respect. So then shit turns into shit, Shout out to Corey Holcomb.
He is Mr. Anton Daniels, based out of Detroit.
Anton.
He's doing big things. Big time
Anton.
things. Got over 1 million subscribers on YouTube as well. And I have no doubt that that's going to
a couple billion, but go.
Continue to grow. The brother's special to listen to. And I'm looking forward to having a conversation with him for the very, very first time. Right here on Straight Shooter with yours truly, the one and only Anton Daniels. Up next. My guest is a Detroit-based YouTuber.
Let me tell you something, okay, before it even gets started. The haters is going to hate. This is a big get for Anton. Shout out to Anton. Shout out to Anton for not getting all involved, regardless of what the peons say, with peon shit and keeping his eye on and moving forward and facing forward. I'm not saying that he didn't have his part in the Corey Helm situation, because obviously he did, right? But not dwelling in that mess and continuing to go on to his show every day and every night and move forward and get this interview and anything else that he may have had, because, I don't follow him closely like that, but y'all do keep me informed on what's going on for the most part. Can you hear me? I don't have the mic as close as I use. Let me bring it closer. Testing. Let me know that you can hear me, right? But while the low-hanging fruit, as he calls it, is still digging into shit from 10 years ago and 15 years ago, he moves forward. And this be exactly what forward-thinking people do, right? You can't be focused on the negative all the time. You ain't got time to be fighting irrelevant people who all they have is to try to focus on negative stuff, negativity, and keep it going. and intentionally trying to disparage this man as he continues to climb. Yeah, I'm giving all the props to Anton because I think this is a big deal, and he's already been on Fox, which I think is a big deal as well. And I'm sure that this will turn into something else because I've already seen that Black Conservative Perspective is already, taking a look at it. I'm sure other people have, and then it will turn into something else. See, a lot of people don't think about long term. We say it all the time. You don't think about what comes next. You don't think about the future. You don't think about next steps. All a lot of people are doing is just worried about the right now, here and now. Shout out to Luther. Instead of thinking about here, now, and later, right? So even with what happened with Corey, he was able to come and do this, which some people might not think is a big deal, but I'm pretty sure he's got a significant amount of followers more than what damn Corey Holcomb has. And if we get to the Poetic Flacco video, we'll see how Corey is doing. Because, child, I don't watch that show. I wait for Poetic Flacco to get the 411 on what's going on over there.
This coach and internet personality with more than 1 million subscribers across the social media platforms, known for his pop culture and conservative viewpoints. Please welcome for the first time the straight shooter, the one and only Anton Daniels. What's up, big time? How are you, man? How's everything?
What's going on, Mr. Smith? How you doing?
Man, please, it's a pleasure to meet you, man. I've been looking forward to talking to you or whatever. First of all, here's what I want to do because I respect where you're coming from. Even when you get on me, I'm going like this, damn, you got a good point. It's no big, it's all love, brother. I'm good with it. Let me ask you this question. How would you describe yourself, particularly in this day and age? Are you a conservative? Or are you just a YouTuber? Are you a podcast? What would you say? What do you want the world to know you believe you are?
I wouldn't define myself as a conservative first. I would define myself as a saint first.
Saint?
A saint, right?
Oh, Anton. Is this Saint Anton? Yeah, I'm have to. It's not what Anton says. It's what Saint Anton says. Okay, Lord help your people. If he don't know how to get shit started, then I don't know who does. No, I ain't folding no clothes. I just got home. Okay, that's why I had to push back. I've been drinking too. I had 2 good drinks. So this is another reason why I don't need to be up here long because it's going to turn into a different type of show. And I don't have time, okay? Anyway, don't come for me, child. Don't come for me.
There's a difference between a Christian and a saint. A saint is a person that believes every word in the word, right? We don't differentiate. We don't pick and choose which part of the Bible we believe. Even if I'm not perfect or I'm not doing everything right, I define myself by my belief in God. That's first, above all. And then everything else comes after that, right? So I am conservative, which I used to be Democrat. I'm not going to say liberal, but I am a Republican. I'm a conservative Republican. I've been married since I was 22 years old. So I've been married for the better part of 22 years. I'm a father. And then more importantly, I'm a bag chaser. So I'm always going to do the thing that adds value into people's lives, and I expect to be fairly compensated as a result of it.
When you decide,
some Black people will think that that's a bad thing to say that you should be fairly compensated for what it is that you do. The interesting part about that is that the people that be on here, just using the people on YouTube that be selling courses and shit, it'd be like, oh yeah, you got a course. But then when someone talks about like Anton saying that, he wants to be fairly compensated, what the hell is wrong with that? That's what be wrong with you colors. Y'all put up with anything. When I be saying what I say, y'all know damn well most of y'all don't go and negotiate your salary, especially specifically when you start a new job. If you don't negotiate your salary and you think that they're giving you highest and best, you're a fool. And that's part of the reason, I don't care what nobody's saying, but Black people really aren't being paid what they should be paid because they're scared to say anything because they think somebody's going to take the damn job back. Guess what? Take that shit back because there'll be something else afterwards. Now, that wasn't this time, and I'm not saying that it's still not right to negotiate your salary. It's always right to negotiate your salary. That's something that we also learned in Mastermind. Again, I hate to bring some of that stuff out, but you need to know what you're worth in order to know that, to make sure that everybody else knows what you're worth. And for those that can't afford it, then those aren't your people. You go and you find the people who can. That's it. That's all. That makes sense to me. Why should I take less? Why should Anton take less? Why should Stephen A take less? Why should anybody take less than what it is that they were based off of the information, the value that they provide? But a lot of people don't want to cause no waves and they want to be invited to the cookout and all that bullshit. Y'all, stay poor. Shout out to the poors, fake poors. Because these people, I'm telling you, you think they ain't negotiating, you crazy.
To support Trump in 2024. What was it about the MAGA movement that made you support it? Was it the fact that you are, as you described, or was there something different transpiring in 2024 that you saw compelled you to gravitate towards that?
The first thing is I felt like the election was stolen from him in 2020. There's no way that anybody can convince me that Joe Biden is the most popular president of all time and he got over 81 million votes. I'm not going for it.
Now, listen, I don't know about a stolen election or not, but I'd have to agree about ain't no way that Joe Biden was the most popular president. Everybody wanted to vote for his ass. If they did vote for him, it was a vote against Donald Trump, not for Joe Biden. Because remember, Joe Biden wasn't doing well in the primaries that he had to go down there to Clyburn and say, baby, I'm going to need you to help me out. This is my 18th time running for president, and this is probably my last time. And I need to get in there, so I'm going to need you to get them colors rounded the hell up and get them to vote for me and push me on up. And that's exactly what he did. And what did he want in return? Nothing, because I'm just happy that he ain't got all in there. And y'all in South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken, about to vote for his ass again. He ain't got you no damn reparations. He ain't got no shit that says specifically black, but y'all definitely gonna go vote for his ass again if he's running, meaning Clyburn, and put him back in there because he black, you black, and everybody black, and that's a reason to vote for somebody.
Second thing is that I start to take a deeper look at my own life, right? Because especially as black people in the community, we talk to automatically vote Democrat regardless because we black, right?
Yeah.
But when I started to deep dive into the things that Democrats stood for, it wasn't the fact that Republicans or Trump or MAGA first got my attention. The first thing that got my attention is the things that I didn't align with the party that I had been voting for based off of what my family told me to do, right? I don't believe in men and women's bathrooms. I don't believe in, a lot of the stuff, my dollars going to the federal government and letting them manage my money more than I can. I believe in smaller government. I believe in spirituality. I believe in a lot of the things. And so when I started to figure out, what are we doing? Why am I voting this way? I started to explore, what about Trump didn't I like? And I realized that it was more propaganda that was fed to me and that, he was supposedly be racist and all of this stuff. And then I started to evaluate every other president that came before him. And I realized that he's just a quote unquote straight shooter, right? I mean, he just tells it like it is, regardless of whether you agree with him or not. And most of the things that he said, I aligned with.
One of the things I want to push back on you on this notion about the 2020 election from this perspective. I believe that the election was legit, but not for the reasons one would think. I totally agree with you. I don't believe any way in hell 81 million people wanted Joe Biden to be president. But I do believe 81 million people wanted anybody but Donald Trump. So because of that, it makes it made it believable in terms of chaos, how much noise was being made. You know how people were like, you had people celebrating in the streets like, oh my God, we're finally freaking. You saw how exaggerative and how extra folks were when Trump was put out of office. So I'm saying that to me was emblematic of a large portion of America saying we wanted a break from all of that noise. That's why I believe the election was legit.
Okay, Stephen A. So let me push back at you a little bit.
Sure.
Why are Democrats so against voter ID?
Well, hold on. We ain't got to, me and you align with that. It don't make no. I'm not supporting. Listen, you got to have an ID for everything. They ain't
right.
I'm with you with that. I mean, I think.
No. Now you know your colors. You be like, it's Jim Crow 2.0. You got to show ID in order to vote. Like I said, I've always shown ID. Even if it was a voter ID card that they would send out or my own driver's license or, whatever. Now, all of a sudden, in 2026, people can't produce a fucking ID. Jim Crow 2.0. It's Jim Crow 2.0. And you colors be falling for that shit. Child, you colors be falling for that. Y'all got that.
I do think it was ridiculous, but I also pay attention to Senator Fetterman, who's been supported for the most part of the Republicans. When Fetterman said, quote, he said certain things about the SAFE Act are a bit extra. Yeah, you essentially got to have a passport, and it is more difficult to get ID, under these restrictions that they're putting out there.
These are also for new people, from what I understand, new people who are being registered to vote, right? So if I'm already registered to vote, I've been registered to vote, that ain't gonna change. I'm a voter, right? I'm assuming that's the same for most of y'all. What I always said, which I've said on here as well, why is it that it's always this, we got to get people registered to vote? Why aren't they not registering to vote? Why? Nobody had to leave me along to tell me to go register to vote. Now, I chose to take my children to register them to vote because I just wanted to be sure that, I'm telling them what they need to know. I did not go in there and tell them who to vote for. I said, you vote for whoever you feel you need to vote for. And they went behind that curtain all by their daggone selves and made their decisions. So why do I need Rowley talking about vote like a black woman? Why do I need all these people to always talk about we need to register to vote? Child, if you don't know to register to vote, then child, you probably don't need to be voting anyway. But it's always some desperosity type of bullshit where we gotta have somebody to register to vote. We gotta get people out on the ground so that you can then convince them that they should vote because they registered you. That's what Democrats do. Say I'm lying. That's exactly what they do.
Than it was before. So I do believe that, but that doesn't mean that both sides can't come together and resolve that in a damn day. And for the Democrats to act like no ID should be required or whatever, like California and some of the stuff I learned about them and what they're doing under Gavin Newsom, that is utterly ridiculous. So you and I don't be far from that.
But that tells me, though, that they're fighting for it for a reason. And I don't believe it's because they really believe that people are being disenfranchised at the polls. I believe that they're fighting for it because they truly believe that it's going to affect whether or not they get elected and future elections. And I believe that the Democrats, their whole strategy, because as people get older and wiser, this is not even my opinion, this is a fact. Most people evolve to become more conservative, and then they sometimes, more often than not, deflect over and become a Republican, right? When you're younger, that's really a Democrat's game is being, liberal, right? Because you don't know any better. But as people get older and wiser, they never defect from the Republican Party over to the Democrat Party. It's usually the other way around, right? So what they have to do is they have...
Oh, you mean people don't ever change from being a Democrat and go to being a liberal? You mean there's not many people that are conservative that change over to... why would that be, child? Why would that be? Shout out to Fire up in here. I see you, boo. Shout out to all of y'all. Please make sure you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new.
Find new voters and new people that support them. And I believe that the civil rights movement was hijacked by feminism. Feminism ultimately was hijacked by the LGBTQ movement, which Obama ushered in, and he solidified that. And then I believe that...
Oh, the colors is not going to be happy about this. Y'all let me know when you see Rolly talk about this, and if it's good, send it to me. They are not going to be... Y'all know you can't talk about Obama, child. Y'all know you cannot talk about Obama. Now, those same people that say that you can't talk about Obama talk about the ICE agents who are black and legally working. However, you can't talk about Obama, but they can talk about legally working people. That's how that works, in case y'all didn't know.
And I believe that diversity, equity, and inclusion was ultimately the thing that they really leaned on in order to make sure that they had people in the voter rolls that not only identified as black, not only identified as Latino, not only identified based off of their sexuality, but they needed a whole new voter class. And I think that immigrants was definitely the play. And that's why they're fighting so hard against voter ID.
The same immigrants that's looking for reparations, colors, in case you didn't know, Somalis is looking for reparations, and whoever the squad lady named that begin with a P, she thinks that all of those poor immigrants, the illegals who came here illegally, should get some reparations. And child, they probably gonna get some reparations before y'all do. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. I just be giving y'all the information because y'all be fighting against your own interests. Because remember, y'all fighting for them to stay when they need to get the fuck on up out of here. And now that they're here, your Democrat friends are saying, we need to give them some reparations. I don't want to hear a word from none of y'all. This is all y'all's fault.
But I don't disagree with most of that. What I'm saying is we can point to things that the Republicans do, the conservatives do, to position themselves for the same thing. For example, when you're redistricting in Texas, for example, and other places, you're doing that because you want to position yourself to get most votes. Absolutely. This is politics. This is politics. So
but only when Republicans do it, it's racist. When Democrats do it, they're doing the right thing. It's fucking gerrymandering. It's okay when the Democrats do it. It's not okay when conservatives and Republicans do it, y'all. You already know, right? I'm just saying.
In other words, we can't hate on one side for coming up with a mechanism, you understand, to curry more votes in your favor.
We have to, Stephen A. And the reason that we have to is because it's one thing to you said it yourself. I can't even jump on an airplane unless they identify who I am. I can't get a place to stay. I can't get a car. I can't get anything. But I can determine who it is that
can't get none of them damn benefits either. But somehow, some way, poors, y'all find a way to get an ID for that, don't you? Fake poors. Interesting how that works.
Makes the laws that ultimately govern us. Like if that isn't the thing that we need to protect more than anything else in our culture, in our society, I don't know what is. So we have to be vigilant to make sure that every vote is valid and every vote is counted. And we can't just let, mail-in ballots or people being able to, I say gaslight us and to believe in that, this election is free and fair when it's not. And I don't believe that that's what happened in 2020.
Well, let me tell you this too. Let me tell you, because you left out something that's very, very important, Anton. When you in New York City and you need an ID to shovel snow, But you fight. I mean, you talk about telling on yourself. You talk about telling on yourself. I mean, Mom Donnie and the Democrats. I mean, it just went out the window. You fighting for the safe act not to exist, but in the same breath, you requiring ID to shovel damn snow. I mean, that argument went out the window for them. There's no question.
I don't understand. I know you were born and raised in Queens. I know your roots is definitely New York. I know you're a Knicks fan, and it breaks my heart to see what the Pistons are going to do to the Knicks. However,
I thought I liked you, bro. I thought I liked you. You got to bring up the Pistons. You got to do that to me, bro. I mean, you got to do that. All right, go ahead, man.
However, I have to say that you must be disappointed in what is happening in New York. And I'm not even talking about with Kathy Hochul. I'm not just talking about with Zoran Mamdani. I'm talking about city council. I'm talking about Eric Adams. Everything that has transpired over the last 5 years in New York has ultimately led to you guys electing somebody that hasn't even been born inside of the United States of America, and y'all married today. So it bothers me. It bothers me that this country, is going the way that it's going.
You use the word disappointed. Nah, bro, I'm scared. I think New York is going to be an unmitigated disaster. I'm scared as hell.
We look forward to that. Shout out to the NYC with Ma'am Danby changing it on a daily basis. Still not helping Niger.
I already moved out the state, bro. I already bought a house in Florida. I ain't gonna lie.
Kathy wants your ass back. Kathy wants your ass back. You better get your ass back there because all the rich left and they don't have nobody to tax now because the poors don't have anything. The fake poors don't have anything. And probably the next people to leave are the middle income people. They said, bring your rich asses back here so we can tax your asses. Remember, she said, get the F out. Then she changed her mind and said, bring your ass back. Child, this is what y'all get for listening to biatches.
I already bought a house in Florida. I'm like, hell with this. This is an absolute mess. So you have your points. I'm just saying that you're making points about the Democratic Party. What would you say about the Republican Party? You're not about to sit up here and act like they're paragons of virtue, right? And that they're always honest and straightforward. We're not going to do that, are we?
He sound like Corey. I want you to say something about white men. I never hear you say anything about white men.
No, I think that Bush II was the worst president in my lifetime. I absolutely hated him because of the things that he did to the economy.
Is that the Bush II is the son, right? Yeah, because the son was before Obama.
That was the worst time of my life. I went broke. I think that Obama inherited a mess. I don't think that everything that Obama did was wrong. I actually think that Trump's policies more or less align with what Obama was doing in 2008, 2009, 2010, right? If you look at Nancy Pelosi's policies back in 96, right? If you look at what Joe Biden said that he stood for, if you look at what Obama represented, those are the same things that Trump represent. They want to make it seem like, well, him deporting illegal migrants is such a bad thing. Obama deported over 3 million people. In his terms, Trump didn't even deport 1 million people in his first term in office. So
that's not true. He's a fascist. He's a this, he's a that, because I just hate Donald Trump because that's what people tell me to do. So he's the worst because they said, because somebody said, so he has to be the worst. So we got to be out here looking like complete assholes, or doing shit against ourselves. But we said it's okay to do because such and such said it was okay. Oh, I feel so bad for y'all. Not.
I don't think that what Trump is doing is so radical. I think that what he's doing is more closely aligned with what moderate Democrats was doing back in the 90s.
So with that being said, is it fair to say that you wouldn't be against the Democratic Party if it represented what those Democrats represented back in the day, that your real problem is with the progressive movement that appears to have taken over the Democratic Party, and that's what you completely disassociating yourself from?
Progressives took over the Democrats much like MAGA takes over the Republicans, but y'all not allowed to talk about that. You can only talk about MAGA. MAGA is the only problem around here, because they racist, all right? Forget those progressives, the ones that want the illegal migrants to get reparations. Shout out to the coloreds. They want them to get the reparations, child, but they good. Shout out to the school. As long as they got a cool name and a cute name, y'all all for it, because you fall for the dumb shit, child. Their squad, they come from New York, wherever the hell the rest of them bitches come from. What is it? AOC, Ilion, if I'm not mistaken. Corey Bush was in there. Somebody else is in there. And child, as long as they women, you got to make sure you put women in there because you got to be equal. You cannot say that a woman can't be there because then that means that you're MSG and that's not a thing. You got to always say you support women or there's something wrong with you. Child, I'm a woman and most of them I don't support either. Child, fuck them. I don't give a damn.
No, absolutely not. I believe in less government. I believe that people that are here, they should be here legally. I don't believe in men and women's bathrooms. I believe in smaller, much smaller government. I don't believe in higher taxes. I don't believe that you are independent. I think that you are conservative. I think you're a Republican. And not just with your dollar. I think that you are a Republican, but I don't think that you are willing to admit it openly because of the backlash that comes along with the Black community and not supporting people that aligns with the Democrats.
Because they gonna uninvite him to the cookout. Oh, Stephen A. Child. After he backed up off of that jazzy shit. This is just good visibility for Anton. Because Stephen A is up here, y'all. He's with these D9ers, bourgeoisie. They got that ass back in line. You better get on out there and change what you said about our girl Jazzy Jazz. I mean, she's still a loser, as we can see, but you better get on out there and change your mind. Now everybody can't stand Stephen A. Smith, which is fine. Don't stand him or whatever. But the biatches just don't like him because of what he said about Jazzy. You know, you can't talk about a black woman. I mean, you can talk about me clearly because you see the comments, right? Clearly, you can talk about the ICE agents who are Black, child. You already know. It just depends on what they say. Woo, Lord. Luckily, I don't give a fuck.
The party.
Okay. Now, I'm glad you brought that up because allow me to retort to that. I don't give a shit what people say. If I feel what I feel, I'm going to stand on it.
Goodbye.
My challenge is knowing.
Goodbye, Stephen. Now y'all rough and tough with his Afro puffs. Child, you backed up off of that jazzy shit. You backed right the fuck back up off of that jazzy shit. Now, child, I don't give a shit about what Joy Reid says. Listen, child, F that bitch, okay? She over there talking all this smack and still all she do is talk about Stephen A because that's what get the women's all riled up, specifically the Black women. That gets them to continue to follow her. Don't forget that she's a tether, right? So y'all gonna go listen to tethers here, there, and everywhere. You're gonna fight for illegals. Then you're gonna turn around and talk about racism? You do it to yourself. You do it to yourself.
What I'm talking about. You study politics more than I do, along with various others. And so because of that, there are times that I'm simply uncertain about a position. And because I'm uncertain about a position, I lean on the same old. Like, for example, I'm about the economy. I want a strong economy, okay? So I'm about free market capitalism. But I like some safety nets, not just free market capitalism and let's minimize government involvement to the nth degree. I think that
like what? What safety nets?
No, I'm just talking about, when you talk about economically speaking, I don't want over-regulation, but I don't want zero regulation either. You see what I'm saying? In a binary system, they force us to pick a side. So for me, when I say I'm an independent, I'm like, damn, there's certain things that I lean a little bit here to the right, and then I lean a little bit here to the left.
I don't think that the Republican Party forces us to pick. The Republican Party.
No, I'm just answering your question about me. I'm just answering your question about me, just for clarification purposes.
That's fair.
With immigration, the only reason I totally supported Trump closing the borders because Biden opened them. If Biden had never opened them,
why not vote for him? Why not vote for him?
Because first of all, I've said this on many occasions. I would have voted for Nikki Haley. I would have voted definitely for Nikki Haley, possibly DeSantis. I didn't like his remarks about good points about slavery, so I probably turned against him because of that. I didn't appreciate that shit at all. But I would tell you for the most part, him, and I would vote for Marco Rubio. I wouldn't hesitate. But also know this about me, because I'm glad you asked.
They're gonna bring him back into the basement and talk to him again. You know, like like what they go through when they got to do their initiation into the D9. They're gonna take him back to that room. You're going to be in trouble for saying that. You can't get up here on your own show, mind you, on your own platform and sit up here and talk about that you about to vote for some Republicans, child. You cannot say that.
I heard you touching on some of my politics with some of your cliques. And I was like, I can't wait to speak to this brother. Right. And I said to myself, listen, I don't blame him for feeling that way because he don't know me. And I've never really discussed a lot of this. But I said, listen, if you're sitting back and it's like, all right, it's immigration. Follow the Obama policy. Go ahead and keep that policy in place. I would have supported that. When you talk about safety in the streets, damn right. You ain't getting out of jail the same day you get in jail. Not on my watch. Oh, hell no. So in that regard, yeah, I'm more conservative than liberal. But entitlement programs are more liberal than conservative. I think the desolate and disenfranchised, because I think the desolate and disenfranchised need a helping hand from time to time. I know it helped me and my family. Now, we didn't lean on it. We didn't depend on it. We didn't live off of it for decades. But to get a helping hand, to uplift yourself, sometimes I think that's needed and it doesn't bother me. So don't.
You know what? It doesn't bother me either, as long as there's a timeline to get the fuck off. Let me stop cussing, child. It's about to be Palm Sunday. As long as there's a limit and you get off and not come back and get back and come back and get back. No. Enough people making it a way of life. And we already leered around here that the number one thing that has to be paid out once the taxes come in, amongst the other things, is benefits. Number one before military. Number one before a lot of things. I don't have it brought up right now. But number one before Social Security or Medicaid, Medicare, and all that type of stuff Yeah, nah. Y'all get out here and get to work. Him and hauling now to work 20 damn hours a week after all this time, please.
I'm pro-choice because I don't believe in telling a woman what to do with her body. I think I'm more of a supporter of the LGBTQ plus community than conservatives are. So those are reasons why I would call myself an independent who leans a little bit left instead of right, to clarify.
But here's the thing though, Stephen A. The Republican Party is not distancing itself from people that's choosing to live their life the way that they want to live it. That's not the position, and that's how it's marketed from the Democrat Party. Okay. There's plenty of gay people, there's plenty of people that live alternative lifestyles that are a part of the Republican Party. What the Republicans are basically saying and standing for is
Anton Daniels joins this show. Content creator, public speaker, entrepreneur, philanthropist, Detroit native. There you go.
Should not be allowing for children to transition themselves or for parents to transition children before they become of age. We should not
totally
allow
agree with that.
But see that
1,000% I agree with you.
It's not that Republicans are radical. They're not radical in their stance against anything. They believe in, freedom of religion, for you to be able to practice however you want to practice. Right. They're not trying to abolish gay marriage. None of that stuff is existing, right? That is a marketing ploy. But Democrats are extreme in their push for it in order to align themselves with certain groups. No, that is back in the day.
All right, I got that. But I grew up in the 80s and the 90s and what have you, and I was hearing a different thing from the Reagan and the H.W. Bush administration. So you got to take that into consideration, and maybe I dropped the ball because I'm thinking about Republicans and conservatives, and I'm thinking about what the party had always been, even up until McCain was running, and I'm looking at it from that lens. That's all I'm going to. But let me get back to you.
Hold on, but let's stay on the my body, my choice part.
Sure, no problem.
Republicans are not removing women's rights to do what they want to do with their body. The only thing that they're saying is, we don't want that to be the responsibility of the federal government. If that's what you want, then you can vote for it on a state level. That's all they're saying.
How about you pay for it yourself? Child, if you want to change your sex, pay for it yourself. What's wrong with that? Bueller, where'd I go? How come nobody be saying none of that? Ain't nobody else's responsibility. It shouldn't be covered under Medicaid, Medicare, any care. None of it. You do it. You want your kid to be changed over, which I think is completely egregious. You pay for it. Pay for it. You want it? That's not requirement. Shit. That's crazy to even have this stupid ass discussion. Not with them, but just to have that even be for it. I'm sorry. Have that even be a conversation. Ridiculous. The government shouldn't pay for your sex change. You want to change sexes? You do it. Get a fucking job, get some health insurance, and get that shit done.
But see, the miscommunication.
Oh, that is a good. I gotta see if that. Remember when C19 first started, and that's when all these companies wanted to go and agree with what everybody said after George Floyd because they didn't want to seem racist. Now y'all trying to say they give up DEI, even though I'm telling you they've been gave it up long before this year. But I digress. I remember when companies were saying that, we'll pay for you. We'll pay for your flights. We'll pay for your time off. So if you want to go get surgery, then you can go get it. Y'all remember that? I wonder if those companies are still doing it. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the one that I work for does not do it. Quietly, because some people can do things quietly. They don't need the rest of the world to know. Quietly roll that back like a Walmart price. And say, we're not doing that no more. Use your own damn time. We ain't got time. So, see, if you don't be taking advantage of the benefits that you have at the time, y'all be missing out. I take advantage of every single one that I qualify for. Not that, but I'm just saying.
Is that they're completely against it. I can disagree with your lifestyle, but still respect your right to do what you want to do because we're governed by the Constitution.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like my ultimate thing is we are a republic governed by the Constitution, and so we're protected based off of our rights, our amendments, our right to carry, right? All of these things. Trump is the only person that's protecting and going against birthright citizenship for illegal migrants, leveraging that when that was literally made for Black people and slaves. I don't see anything that he's doing policy-wise when he's when he's developing a lot of these things that create criteria for people to meet the expectation in order for them to get certain things, even when it comes to government services and health and food stamps and Section 8 and all of that stuff. They're not getting rid of it. They want to remove the people that are taking advantage of it from a fraud perspective.
Let me throw this by you. Let me throw this scenario about you.
Yeah, throw the scenario, but before you throw it, that is the 20 hours working per week. Oh my God, I can't do that. And then you don't get it. So you should go buy your own food. As simple as that. We should be able to buy whatever we want to. You can buy whatever you want. You absolutely can buy whatever you want. I don't know how this doesn't compute. You are welcome to buy whatever you want. You use your own money, go buy it. What you're saying is that you want someone who's giving you something to agree that you buy whatever you want. Again, it don't work that way. That's why you should take care of yourself. But child, that's crazy talk, right? But keep listening to Rolly and the rest of them. Let me stop saying Rolly's name because I don't even know what he feels on that position. So let me dial that back. But keep listening to these progressives, I'll call them that sitting up here telling that it's your right. Most of them MFers don't even put anything into the damn government tax-wise to be able to have a right to shit. You get, what you qualify for, you follow the rules. You follow the rules. Why? See, that's the problem. Nobody want to follow rules. Everybody want to do what they want to do, but then they want to tell everybody else what they're going to do, and everybody else is supposed to go abide by it. Child, that's not how it works. Now, mind you, it seems like it might be changing. I don't like that, but I just think that if you want to buy yourself some soda, take out your debit card or whatever you got and buy it. No one is required to buy shit for you, especially as adults that are parents of children. You sound crazy and you look crazier sitting up here trying to talk about what the government got to do for you. Then you'll turn around 2 seconds later talking about you can't stand Trump and the government. Make it make sense.
Do you have siblings?
I do. 3 brothers, no sisters.
All right, so you don't have any sisters. Okay, so
No
it's
sisters.
a difficult question to ask you, but I'm gonna try anyway because I have 4
It's a daughter.
older sisters. I have 4 older sisters, right?
Okay.
So you feel the way that you feel, but your sisters come up to you and say, "You ain't a woman, I am, and we need this." And what he or they are proposing is against us. Now, that's not a community backlash. That's not worrying about what the public thinks.
What the hell is he talking about?
But I'll be damned if I didn't hear my sisters come in my face and remind me of the fact that you were raised by 5 women and we don't appreciate what he and them, meaning the GOP, are attempting to do when it comes to our rights as women.
Who the fuck? Women, MSDs, are who is infringing upon y'all's rights? Bueller? I wish somebody would come to me telling me about what they did for me and what I better do. Child, ooh, Lord, help your people. Child, somebody want me to be riled up like I was this morning. I'm trying to live off this high I'm on with them drinks. What kind of shit is that? What kind of shit is that? So then your response, Stephen A, should be, then you vote how you feel you need to vote and I'll do the same. Who the fuck do you think you are to tell me what I got to do because of your problems and your issues? They ain't got shit to do with me. Yo, LTM Sassy Straits, is that what's going on right here? My sisters came to me. Fuck those bitches. So the fuck what? I wish my sister would. She bet not ever. And she would never. She would never. That's a little bit over the top. Doesn't that sound over the top and inappropriate? For one adult to tell another adult child, but then again, what did we hear? They called into a Millionaire Morning Show talking about my wife is going to divorce me because I said I'm going to vote for Trump. Child, I ain't got time. Foolish people, child. Foolish fools gonna fool. I'll leave it at that.
Asking you, what are you supposed to say, think, and feel in that particular scenario?
You're supposed to tell them you vote how you want to. I'm gonna vote for how I want to, and it don't matter what you think because I'm gonna go by what I think. Do you not have your own fucking brain?
I want them to tell me what rights is being removed from them.
Exactly.
Because I know that women often at times
they don't have the right to delete their own kids. Don't have the right to delete their own kids, but isn't it interesting that it's a baby? And I did see this on Instagram. When you want to delete it, it's not a baby, but when somebody, God forbid, like has a car accident and the person happens to be pregnant, that's another body. So which one is it? It just depends on what y'all feeling one day to the next. Sure.
React emotionally, and they're letting their emotions dictate their actions, right? It's okay for you to be emotional. Everybody has emotions, but I'm not going to let that.
You got me feeling emotions deeper than I ever dreamed of. Shout out to Mariah Carey. I couldn't resist.
Determine what I actually do, right? And so the thing that I want to understand is the facts. So I would have a conversation with them and I would ask them, what right is it that's being removed from you? Because I don't see it. I don't see any policy. I don't see any legislation. I don't see anything that's being removed from you from a Republican perspective.
Okay. Anton Daniels right here straight.
Stephen A, answer the question. What rights being removed since you over there being hustled by your damn sisters? Black women! They said, you need to get behind the women. And that's exactly what he did. I wish the fuck I would. I wish a bitch would say some shit to me about what I need to do. Child, what I tell y'all a long ass time ago. I don't have time. I don't have time. Child, anyway, shout out to Baltimore in the building, Smoking Talk. Shout out to Severe. I see you. I appreciate you. He said, what's up, y'all? Shout out to Messi. Shout out to all the moderators and chat. Shout out to you, Boo. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. All of y'all, please make sure you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. We listening to, sounds like the Saint in the Center. Shout out to the Saint in the Center. Anton is Saint Anton now. And Stephen A. Smith, maybe he's flip-flopper. Maybe y'all are right. It's like, I know he flip-flop on that Jasmine stuff, but child, he sound crazy. He sound crazy right now. Oh, my sisters came to me. Oh, but that story with Brandon Jamal and what his cousin did to him, all the women in the chat was like, he deserved it. He's sassy. I ain't even gonna say nothing. I'm not even gonna get into it tonight. Shout out to Prince Revolver. I appreciate you. He says Stephen A. No hairline, bending the lanes as always. Lanes? I think it says lanes. I can't see, but thank you, Boo. I appreciate you.
Shooter with yours truly, Stephen A. I want to get to the black community in this regard because one of the things that, listen, like I said, I don't consider myself a black conservative. I consider myself a black man who is an independent that leans left on some things and leans right. That's me. That's how I think about myself.
Yo, pick a side. Pick a side. How you gonna be out here talking all this shit, sugar on the IC, telling other people what they need to do? You can't even pick a side.
Be that way, Stephen A. You cannot be that way.
I believe I can. I believe I can.
No.
We could answer. I will gladly come on your show. We can argue about that all day, every day. I'm happy to. I can't. Oh, come on. Oh, please, man. All you got to do is
because
you say the word. I will come on your show.
Stephen A. will be on the Millionaire Morning Show. Look at how Anton making connections all smoothly and shit.
It's not a problem.
Do
it's
that.
Not a problem at all.
You can do that in sports. You can't do that in popular culture and politics.
Because
people in the middle get ran over. You got to pick one side or the other.
45% of the U.S. population is independent right now. I would beg to differ on that. It's climbing.
They not.
If anything, listen, the independent vote, I think, is going to swing the election one way or the other. What do you say to that?
Not. I don't believe.
You don't think that's going to happen?
I don't believe that 45% of the population is independent. I think that they say that as a cop-out, but not wanting to actually say out loud exactly what they represent and who it is that they support, especially within the black community. It's not popular to say that you're a Republican. It's not popular to say that you're conservative. And so what people lean on is to say, well, I'm independent in order to give themselves an out for what it is that they choose and not to be accountable for who they support. That's what really is happening. See, I don't believe in what people say. I believe in what people do, right? And I think that a lot of times people are peer pressured, especially today in the black community, to vote against their own best interest because it's not popular to do and you can't be a part of the cool kids club. And so even with you, I don't like the fact that you apologize for some of the things that you said because you were absolutely right, especially and particularly against how Jasmine Crockett was representing herself. But because the woke mob decided that they wanted to make you the punching bag and to come after you, and they still didn't and don't support you and didn't accept your apology. But in particular, and I'm saying it's not you, the Don Lemons, the Joy Reids, all of these people.
Oh, shout out to Anton. He know what he doing because Anton said. Shout out to him for naming Joy Reid. I appreciate that. And Don Lemonade.
They don't respect you unless you align with what they believe. And so even when it comes to diversity, equity, and inclusion, they don't believe in diversity unless it's aligned with what they believe, which goes against. It's an oxymoron, right? It's hypocritical. And so even when you have an opinion, they don't believe in black Republicans.
Correct.
They only believe if you
ignorant asses
believe in them and diversity as it aligns with their agenda. That doesn't make sense.
One tether and one ABCD, and that's who the fuck y'all want to listen to. LT.
How can you want to have voices in every part of government or voices that's different from yours or representation, but you don't want representation when it doesn't agree with you?
Correct.
Like I can disagree with you on a particular issue, but it doesn't mean that I remove your right to vote or your humanity, or I can't agree with you on this other issue. But that's not what they do. They're not tolerant like they sell you.
Correct.
We all know that when it comes to cancel culture, the Democrats are the ones that are guilty of that. It ain't the Republicans 100%. And the right trying to get people canceled. It's the progressive left. There's no doubt about that. We see that every single day. As it pertains, and I'm glad you brought that up, as it pertains to my apology to Jasmine Crockett, what happened was Trump came out thereafter because I backed it up and I stayed on my position. Or not just the first time, but the second time. But then Trump came and used that as an excuse to start questioning our IQ and the intelligence of this black woman. And I didn't want to be a part of that. That's why I apologize for it. You can agree or disagree with it.
You can't apologize for something that you didn't do wrong, Stephen.
Well, again, but if I felt like
What the hell is he talking about? You apologized because they took your ass out back and they said, Toby, you better do what we say or you're not allowed back in the club. Because remember that club that lined up real quick when Cam was, when they pushed Joe Biden out and they put Cam in and all the D9ers got together, made all that money. That's the group that said, you better get your ass together. You can't be doing this shit. You better go on some damn where and fix it. Fix it. They had nothing to do with no damn Donald Trump. Ninja, you forgot we was watching. They said, get your ass in line. And you came back like Monday and said, you know what? I misspoke. Fuck that bitch. If you can't stand on shit, you ain't shit as far as I'm concerned. If you want to be a fucking racist, stand on that shit. Stand on it. If you want to be a bitch ass, be one. Stand on that shit. Don't change because of somebody else. Because like y'all are saying, you're a fucking flip-flopper and can't nobody trust your ass. If you tell me you racist, at least I know where the fuck you coming from. That's all I need to know. You're not going to sit up here and just change because the wind fucking blows a different way. That's some bullshit. Those are the people you can't trust, y'all. For real. If somebody said that they was racist, so I'm just using that because it's easy to use. You know how to move with that person, right? This one sitting up here talking about Jasmine and the way that she acts is ghetto. She ain't say that, but that's what it was. Sister girling it up. And y'all think that that's what we want, first of all, to have representative of women, let alone black women. And second of all, the only thing out of her mouth is because Trump is bad. Excuse me, because Trump is bad. What you gonna do with that? How your shit gonna change with that? What difference does that make for y'all? So you live in Jasmine's district and all she says is Trump is bad and that makes y'all want to go and vote for her. Child, makes sense to me. Shout out to Prince Revolver for 5 memberships. Thank you so much, boo. Shout out to you. I appreciate you for that. If you did catch a membership, please make sure you thank Prince Revolver. Thank you, stream sponsor. Appreciate all of y'all. Shout out to all the channel members. Make sure y'all hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new.
I contributed to something that happened wrong to her. That was my only issue, but it didn't take away from what I was saying. Yo, acting like that ain't gonna cut it. Yo, that's not gonna win the election for you. That's not gonna win the Senate seat. That's not gonna make you have more power, more influence in the House of Representatives.
That's not who you are.
Enough,
that's not who you are when you talk about sports. When you talk about sports, you say what you say, and it is what it is.
Yeah, but the point is I have the facts to back it up, not just my opinions. See, when the Detroit Pistons lose to the New York Knicks, just when they lose to the New York Knicks, Anton, right? Okay, I can speak definitively as to why, because the outcome is the outcome. There's nothing subjective about it. So a lot of, and I get what you coming.
Child, at least if you just say, I'm still learning politics, I'm still learning how everything goes, how it works and stuff like that, I'd be like, all right, Stephen A. But child, and unless me personally, and someone can give me something that lets me know that I got something wrong, right? Straight up wrong. You know what? This shit with Instagram is so stupid. If you brought something to me and it's like, all right, nah, child, you was straight up wrong. All right, then I'm wrong. That's it. That's all, right? I'm not going to change just because you don't like what I said. I don't give a shit. I have a right to what I think, just like you do. If you don't like it, you don't have to like it. But that don't mean I have to change to make you feel better, because the MFers that try to force people to change never change their stance. Has Joy Reid ever changed her stance, y'all? Bueller? Has Rolly Roll, Clown, Rick, have any of them ever changed their stance to align with another black? We ain't even talking about white people right now. To another black that doesn't necessarily agree their way. They won't, they don't, they never will. So help me understand for you pussy asses like Stephen A. No shade. But what you did with that Jasmine Crockett stuff was some bullshit. Why the hell should everybody else change for them? I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. That's why I'm saying all the time and more often now, your opinion is no better than mine, and what you think ain't no better than mine. I got my own fucking brain. If I said so, it is so. That's it. That's all. If there's some additional information for the future, maybe I'll change my mind. But what I said, I meant that shit. Period. No, a lot of people want to bitch out like Stephen A did, and he's tagged in this. You bitched out because of your people. And these are the same people that don't give a damn about these people, nor these people, nor these people. But you people, and you people listen to these people so much. They continue to get rich. They continue to move forward. I don't know how many times and how many ways we can continue to show it to you. You get delivered, served the fuck up. You don't get shit. Wash, rinse, repeat.
I appreciate your comment about that because a lot of people have looked at me, and even when they've supported me, they've been critical of me from the standpoint, yo, he's talking, but it ain't the same Stephen A with sports. And I'm like, yo, I got facts to back me up. In politics, this is my perspective. If somebody comes up with something else, I'm listening to you right now. I'm going like this. Well, I did feel this way, but damn, he did make a damn good point here, and he did make a damn good point there. I got to listen. I got to think about that because how it is.
If they would have listened to you,
she would have won. She would have won.
We align with that, right? But instead, we're more focused on how we feel,
and they still won't acknowledge that and say to him, you know what, you were right. I promise you, they never said that. I promise you, they never said that. And he, you know me, I'll be like, I take my "I told you so" moments. I guess he wouldn't. I mean, he just did it right now, but I'd be the first one to be like, bitch, I told you, bitch, I told you. Y'all don't want to listen. Fuck y'all. That'd be your problem. That's why I'm still stand on what the hell it is that I say. Even if I'm wrong, I'll be standing on that shit. I stand on that shit. I don't care. If I change my mind, I change my mind. But guess what? It's going to be because I changed my mind, not because y'all are forcing me to. Fuck y'all. I'm a whole ass adult.
Instead of the results, which leads back to your original question about having a conversation with your sisters. My goal is to get the best results. And ultimately, sometimes I can't even be the nice person to you because I have to be the best person for you. Right? Okay. I kind of look at it, especially when it comes to women, because there are women that are still protecting my family and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes I can't be, like I have a daughter, and I know that you have a couple daughters. I can't be her friend. I have to be her father. You see what I'm saying? So
a lot of people need to listen to that. Shout out to the non-parents that be effing around and putting these damn gremlins out here in the street amongst us.
Sometimes she doesn't know what's best for her, which I can lead her through that with a conversation, but more importantly, I need to educate her at the same time. But I still want the best results. And if people really cared about Jasmine Crockett, then they would have stood 10 toes down and told her the truth instead of just going along with the get-along gang to make her feel good about it. And now she's not even a part of she got eliminated in the primary.
There you go. We're talking Anton.
But those same people that should be telling her, which are the only people that she would listen to, are people that's going to deny to their own detriment. When was the last time you heard one of these Democrats admit that they did something wrong? They're still saying that Cam did a flawless campaign. How, where, when, who? We can tell you all the times that there were issues, and they will come back and say that we're wrong. Okay, then why didn't she win? My bad, because of you MSGs, first of all. And because black men don't want to see a woman, all men don't want to see a woman, and racism. Anything to make yourselves feel better from not being a loser. So keep on using those excuses. That we got Cam, we done had Jazzy. Let's see who's next. Prince, thank you, boo. He said, you can say or do whatever you want to ninjas. So long as you make them feel special, Democrats make ninjas feel like they're the only girl in the world. I agree with you. And they be falling for it. Hook, line, and damn sinker. Now listen, that makes sense when it comes to women. I like to feel good. I'm not gonna lie, right? But y'all, that's in a relationship. I don't think they can differentiate either. Now that you say that, I want to feel good in my relationship. I don't give a shit about MFers I don't know. You think I give a damn about Trump, Joe Biden, Cam, who the fuck ever? I don't give a shit, because they say in the comments all the time, he don't like you. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Why would I care? He don't even know me. Trump don't know me. Obama don't know me. Joe Biden don't know me. Cam don't know me. Y'all be focusing on the wrong shit. The people that know me, those are the ones that I'm concerned with, whether they like me or not. Okay? Not y'all though. Yeah, y'all. I'm just playing. But specifically, I'm talking about in a relationship. That's when I need to know that somebody likes me and cares for me. Not MFers out here on the fucking street, not political people. I don't give a shit. Child, do your job. Don't raise taxes. Don't raise school taxes, child. I'm sick of that shit, okay? Make sure that there's grocery stores around this MFer. Make sure you're not taking all my damn money. Make sure the streets are safe. Make sure that people that need to go to jail go to damn jail. And spend the fucking money that you get appropriately. What do I need to like you for? That's just basic shit. That's it. You know Trump don't like you. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. You don't like, and the person that's saying it, you don't like me. I know you don't like me, and you're black, and by your logic, you should like me because you black, I'm black, everybody black. But only if they're saying what they want, only if you're saying what they want you to say. The play is the same, period, point blank. I don't understand how you don't see the shit. You don't want to see the shit because you want to be aligned with those people, because you want to believe this. Everyone is against you. Well, go on. Everybody be against you, child. Everybody be against you. Thank you, boo. I appreciate you. Shout out to Ms. AB. Thank you, boo. She said, and the sad reality is that he has the nerve to say that he wants to run for U.S. Who? I'm turning into an owl right now. Who? Stephen A? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. That's why you can't take any of these people seriously. You would never vote for him. Hell no, child. Sometimes, I mean, I was just a kid, but child, I still can't even believe that Ronald Reagan became president or Schwarzenegger became governor. Where the hell is he at? But, you know, to each their own, whatever. I wouldn't vote for Stephen A. Is he gonna run as an independent? I promise you he won't. He'll be running right as a Democrat. Prince, thank you for another 5. He says Stephen A show he is called straight shooter. He's shooting black. He's shooting black. He's shooting blank 70% of the time and shooting himself. Shooting himself in the foot 20%, 10% he stands on business. Oh, Stephen A, if you listen to this, it is what it is, child. Shout out to Prince Revolver. That is hilarious. Shout out to you, boo. I appreciate you. Child, this is crazy. This man, he can say he wants to run for president. He'd be down there with Clyde. Look, he going to go out there looking for his people. He going to be out there looking for his people to support him. And you know damn well they not going to do that, child. If Cam come back, they're going to be right up there, right up her ass. Watch. They're going to be right up her ass.
And he's right here on Straight Shooter. What's the hardest part about being a black conservative?
It's not hard at all. It's not hard at all. It's beautiful. I think that it's like being a man. Sometimes you got to, I think the true measure of a man is doing the things you don't want to do when you don't want to do it. All the time, you don't always want to get up and go to work, right?
I feel like that's the sign of an adult, honestly, but I can let you slide with that.
Because sometimes you're tired. But guess what? Part of being a man is getting up and taking care of business because you got people to take care of. And I think that we've lost that as men, and as masculinity is continuously demonized in the culture. Sometimes we look at it as a bad thing. I look at it as a badge of honor. So I don't think that there's anything, honestly, I don't look at it. I can't think of right off the top of my head something that I'm bothered by when it comes to being a conservative or Republican, because I just think it's an education process. In the same way that I used to critique and look at other people and say, man, I don't understand why they are Republican, is the light and the insight that I had to get. And ultimately, it was people that stood 10 toes down and didn't change just because they wanted somebody to feel good about them, which gave me some incentive to do my own research. And then that's what led me to being a Republican myself.
You said black culture has become, quote, I'm reading from something that you said here, too victim oriented. But the wealth gap is real. The median white household has several times the wealth of the median black household, which I know you know. Where do you draw the line between personal responsibility and at least acknowledging structural barriers that may exist?
I don't believe that there are any structural barriers in 2026. And I think to say that it is disrespectful to the people that was actually civil rights leaders that fought for our ability to do the things that we're doing today. We don't even show up to the polls. And most of the time, especially if it's a local election or it's an election that's off cycle from the national election, we're less than 20% showing up at the polls, but it's people that died for us to vote, right? We literally can determine our own future today. There's nothing holding us back. Now, if you told me this 100 years ago, 50 years ago, I might have listened to you. I might have took that and said, you know what? There are some things that's preventing us from being what we are. But honestly, most of the things, I would say 98, 99% of the things that is wrong with us is self-inflicted wounds. And life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it. So if you're telling me, like, for example, they'll use, schools and HBCUs or whatever. I went to community college and I made my way through corporate America and got to some of the highest levels in corporate America in banking, information technology, UX, UI. I went to community college, transferred over to before I went to community college, I got a job at the University of Michigan. The University of Michigan then helped pay for my education to go to a major university after I transferred from that community college. Why don't we embrace that? Why don't we embrace trades? Why don't we embrace, different cultural norms that's not...
Why are we attacking legally working ICE agents? Why? Why are y'all, not y'all, why y'all ain't got nothing to say about Cardi B? Y'all ain't got nothing to say about Lotto. Y'all okay with women who are getting pregnant by married men, still married themselves, something crazy like that. Y'all love that, but all of a sudden someone has a legal job and is working. You have a problem with it because you're messed up in your damn head thinking that ICE is something bad. Shout out to the deporter in chief, your favorite black president, second black president, Barack Obama, who y'all act like did no wrong, does no wrong, and he's just a friggin' saint or whatever. And I'm not hating on him. I just don't understand, but I kind of do, this reverence that y'all have that he does nothing wrong, did nothing wrong, and he's perfect. That's crazy just because he's black. Like, y'all really are like warped in the head with some of this shit. It's crazy. To your own detriment. Shout out to Ms. AB. Appreciate you, Boo. She said Anton is the real straight shooter. He totally schooled Stephen A on his own show. Watch how Stephen A spins it. He's going to pretend that he played dumb. Oh, no. I agree. And listen, shout out to Anton because you see how he is on this show as opposed to how he was on Corey's show. That's why I'm like, I don't care what he said. He knew how the hell he was going in there for that first show with Corey, and he knew how he was coming into this show. He clearly looked up Stephen A and looked at his life. I don't know nothing about Stephen A. Smith except for he on Pardon the Interruption. That's where I used to watch him at. And now he's getting into politics. I don't know his personal life. I ain't know he's from New York. I don't know none of that because I don't give a damn. No shade, Stephen A. No shade. Anton did his homework, which is something that people should do before they go and meet people when they go on job interviews. That's what we were always taught, right? Generation X, you need to know the job. You need to know the company. You need to be able to speak to it. You need to tell them something about it so that they know that you give a damn about the company that you're about to come work for. Now, I don't know what the rules are now because clearly people just show up with bonnets on their head and do-rags on and they think that they're going to get hired and then call it racism when they don't. I digress on that. But if you don't know who the hell it is that you're in company with, how the hell is it that you can do the best job possible? So he's definitely even keeled. He know what he want to talk about. He's ready to, I guess he kind of probably knew where he was going to go, given what Stephen A speaks about. I guess they wasn't going to talk about sports, obviously. But it's a completely different tone than what it was over there on 5150. At the same time, you got Corey coming out here. I didn't study you too. You don't ever say anything about white men. So sometimes you're going to get back what you receive. But I know that's just crazy talk, Chad.
Toxic to us. So in 2026, if I'm expected to teach my daughter, who just turned 18, that there's something that's preventing her from being successful and she need a leg up or a handout in order to be that, it'll be a cold day in hell before I ever tell her that.
See, you and I disagree in this regard. I believe that when you talk about most of our issues are self-inflicted, I'm just not going as high as the 98% that you threw out there. I think it's more like 70-30 personally. That's what I do. I think it's more like 70-30 in your favor. But I think it's more like 70-30. And here's why. Because I can use the word structural barriers, but then I can turn around when you debunk that and say, okay, no proverbial glass ceiling. I certainly believe that exists. There's definitely a proverbial glass ceiling. Because when you walk into...
If there is a glass ceiling, you got to make it to the ceiling to complain about said ceiling. Now, I don't think the percentage is as high as 98 if Anton said that and I missed it. So my bad. I don't think it's 98%. But how do you complain about a glass ceiling when you don't even make it to said ceiling? Can you make it to the ceiling before you start complaining about it? You're nowhere near the ceiling talking about the glass fucking ceiling. When C-19 hit and everybody was all comforting and they was talking and they was saying everything that was going on in the job and the places and stuff like that, which all that stuff changed along with the DEI on the low. And people used to sit there on massive phone calls, because that's what we did, talking about how it's racist and they could never get a job. They could never move forward. They had all these interviews and they never moved forward. And they've been in the same job for 20 years and they still make $30,000, $40,000 and now they're about to retire and it's not fair. And in my mind, I'm like, then you should have left this motherfucker. Why did you not leave this company? So you sat there and you stayed being treated unfairly, if that's what it was. Why did you do that? Why would you do that? So it's self-inflicted. That's the equivalent to being, I feel like I said this earlier today, that's the equivalent to being in an abusive relationship. If you're not gonna make the move to leave, no one can make you leave. You're gonna have to do that your damn self. The reason that I do make the money that I do is because I got laid off. Praise the Lord. That's the best thing that ever happened to me. Then I went to another job and negotiated a higher salary. Then I stayed there 2 years, went to another job, and negotiated a higher salary. 2 years is usually my limit. 2 to 3 years is my limit. Now that I'm older, I got to back that down. I'm not stupid. So, and I don't want any more responsibility. So where I'm at now, all right, it's cool with what I make. I can chill and live with this for now. All right. But y'all don't even do that. Not y'all, you know what I'm saying. Y'all, a lot of black people will not negotiate a salary. They will stay in a place. They will not move forward. The place is not good for you. The people don't treat you right, and you will not move. That ain't got nothing to do with nobody but you. This whole ass United States at minimum, and you telling me that's the only place that you could work and be treated improperly, unfairly, according to you, and it's somebody else's fault that you continue to stay there and bang your head against a wall? Okay. That's where if you're in the same place a year later, then whose fault is that at the end of the day? That sounds like a you problem to me. But child, that's just me. I was flummoxed when my mama first told me like a year or two ago while she was working with her last 2 previous jobs that they interviewed someone who came in wearing pajamas and slides. Child, the Z's, your generation, is in there coming in there with their mamas and shit. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying there's a ton of jobs out there, but I know people who have gotten jobs. And if you can't compete with people who coming in their pajamas and slides, bonnets, you might be the problem, child. That's just me.
Well, again, you walk in, like, for example, let me use me for example, because you'll appreciate this. So everybody talks about me and they talk about my contract and, I signed this contract with ESPN.
Beautiful. And congratulations on that.
I appreciate that. And I saw your comments. Thank you for that. But let me say this to you. Bro, it was after I worked in the business for 20 plus years. And if it was after I watched a multitude of people get their paper. So I have this saying, and I'll give you the floor to answer this. I've had this saying. When the white folks catch a cold, black folks catch pneumonia. It's always worse for us. And the system is designed in such a way where it doesn't mean that you won't get yours. It doesn't mean that you can't get yours as a black person. But usually there's a figurative line and it's going to be somebody right ahead of you that's going to get it. That's what
Who's ahead of you right now? Who's ahead of you, Stephen A? Nobody. You ain't even.
That's after 20 plus years, though.
But that means
it doesn't matter. You sound like you were supposed to get that at 3 years in. I don't even know, like, who else does, what Stephen A does, because I don't watch sports anymore, right? But whenever I ever thought about who I wanted to listen to, it was always Stephen A. When I wanted to know about something about basketball, Stephen A. That's who I want to hear. That's who I want to listen to. So now, so Stephen A., when was you supposed to get it? Sean, you sound crazy. You sound crazy.
You worked your ass off.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
I read your book. I know everything that you went through. I know where you got started. I know what happened at Winston-Salem. I know how you got injured. I know where your inspiration came from, right? I know that you was over in Philadelphia really working your ass off in order to get to the spaces that you in. I know that you took accountability for your contract not going the way that it was supposed to go in 2009, right? Yep. I know that you talked to the head of ESPN and he told you that your time wasn't up yet, but you worked your ass off, right? You wrote articles. You did everything that you needed to do. I know that you leveled up and nothing that you did could be taken away from you because you earned everything that you have. You didn't run in the Victim Olympics, and I think that you're handicapping other people because you deserve that $100 million contract.
He handicapping himself. Child, how Anton got more knowledge of you than you have of you, and speaking more highly of you than you are of you. Child, he's under the spell of his people, child. Fa, is that one of your baby moms, child? No shade, I'm just playing.
Nothing in your book. Not one thing that I read in your book. Straight shooter. Not one thing that I read in your book. Even when it came to your childhood and your father and you just...
Child, why are you looking perplexed? If you're a straight shooter, shoot straight. What are we talking about right now? How come you are hemming and hawing, straight shooter? I'm disappointed.
describing everything that he did that ultimately led you to becoming the man that you, even when you talked about kids teasing you based off of dyslexia and everything, not one thing in your book did you ever make an excuse for and say, you know what, I'm a victim. You use that as leverage and motivation to push you further. Yeah. And you are the top dog in the field right now.
But I appreciate
so how can you make that argument, Stephen A., when that's not even a reflection of what your life is?
Because what I'm saying to you is that just because I'm not encouraging anybody to embrace victim mentality, I apologize if I gave that impression, but I had to be that dog. I had to push through. I had to keep going. All I'm saying is I acknowledged in my own mind some of the barriers that I was going to have to maneuver my way through in order to ascend. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, and I wasn't going to embrace the victim mentality, but it doesn't mean that I was walking around acting like it didn't exist. I just knew I had to overcome it because bitching and whining about it ain't going to get it done. I knew that. That's all I'm saying. That's entirely different than saying it doesn't exist.
When we say that, we give people permission to bitch and whine. And I'm
okay, then say that.
When we sit here and we look at the quote unquote wealth gap,
okay,
if you really do your due diligence and you study, you'll realize that we demonize and we make the person a litmus, the person that we're chasing, white people. I will tell you that all you got to do is look at the census and look at the income inequalities, and I will tell you that white people are not ahead of us that much. They're about right here. The real people that generate
is Indians. He's still not even giving his own self credit. What in the hell is going on? What in the hell? Yo, that's crazy. How Anton sitting up here hyping you up about you? How Anton hyping you up about you in your life? Straight shooter. And you want to run for president? Oh, hell no. I'm going to vote for Anton for president before I vote for Stephen A. Smith. Child, because somebody could come along and just change your mind, or you're going to change because they looked at you wrong, or they feel wrong, or they said you wrong, or some shit like that.
The most revenue and the highest household income on average are Indians and Asians.
Exactly.
It's not white people. So why do we use white people as a scapegoat or as a measuring stick for what it is that we need to do and automatically?
And the Indians and the Asians is over there eating their popcorn, watching and watching while they make money, right? They got the 7-Elevens. Yeah, I'm stereotyping. The convenience stores, the hair stores, the laundromats, the wash and folds. And they making hand over fist, watching black and white people go back and forth looking like complete and utter idiots. Thank you, Blue. She said, because he is a fraud. Child, he sounded half damn crazy. Yeah, the gas stations, the hotels, the subways, and child, y'all still out here worrying about white people. And that's all they worry about all damn time. There's like nobody else exists in the world.
Qualifying them, because I can tell you when I was in my software engineering classes, there were no black people. All of them was going into business, all of them was doing marketing, and all of them was doing a bunch of stuff that they wasn't really trying to do because it was easy for them to stay in school and still qualify for their student aid. They're not picking STEM fields. We're not picking the right curriculums. We're not going into healthcare. We want to always take the shortcut as a culture, and that's why I say that the culture is trash. It's not black people. It's the thing that we celebrate the most that ultimately is the thing that holds us back. The culture is toxic, and we push it and we promote it, and as long as we continue to believe that it's systematic things that's holding us back, then we'll never get to the place that we're supposed to be at.
So the glass ceiling that you said you can't break through, child, if you ain't making it there, it don't matter whether you can break through it or not. Look like Stephen A. broke through it now, didn't he?
Essentially, I'm willing to concede, first of all, that everything that you just said is on point. What I'm saying to you is me acknowledging whether it's a proverbial glass ceiling from time to time or whatever, it's not the same as, okay, you're encouraging folks to embrace a victim mentality. I might sit up there and tell you the obstacle, but at the end of the day, you still got to overcome it. It won't have no damn excuses. Like you said, I got 2 daughters. Look, I don't want to hear excuses. You're just you educated, you smart, figure it out. I'm going to help you as best as I possibly can. But we ain't adopting and embracing this mentality that there's no way we're going to succeed because there's barriers in our way that are unfair. Get the hell over it and let's figure out how to.
But that's what your people say all the time. His people say that shit all the time to these people, and these people, and these people, and these people believe them. They follow them. Child, can y'all see it? Are you listening? I know y'all know. But for the ear hustlers, are y'all listening?
I think we push it. Even in 2026, we push it.
Really?
And that's what absolutely we push it. We push it with diversity, equity, and inclusion. We don't feel like we can get a job unless somebody gives us a leg.
But diversity, equity, and inclusion, black folks weren't even the primary beneficiaries of it. It was white.
Then why are they out here fighting for it?
women.
But you can't sell that to them.
Because of Donald Trump. That's it. That's all. That's stupid.
You can't tell them that because they still believe that that is something that they need and it's a handicap, but it really didn't even benefit you. And that's my whole point, is that you don't need it. If the person that benefited from it the most is the one that you're using as the litmus, then why would you have it as a part of your agenda? Why would you have it as a part of what you need in order to be successful? You don't need it. I see people every day criticize Martin Luther King and they say, well, part of the reason why we are today, what we are, is because we should have stayed segregated and we should have depended on ourselves in order to continue to be successful. Well, you can't have it both ways. I disagree with that narrative, but you can't have it both ways. You can't say that we should have been integrated while at the same time criticizing a system that we integrated into, and then at the same time say that, well, you know what, we would have been better off if we just stayed to ourselves. You can't have it both ways. And we speak of—
I mean, you can say whatever you want. It's what it is that you do that matters. And what I was just having this discussion this morning, my trainer, it was about I don't know. It was something about having our own. And I said, but nobody wants to do any work to have our own. And I'd be damned if I'm going to be aligning with people that's going to turn on me in 2 seconds when I don't agree with what they say. And y'all know that's the case. And he says that every time that Black people try to do stuff, white people take it down. I said, who, when, where, and how? And please don't come to me about Black Wall Street, y'all. I said, because I'm not trying to hear it in 2026. And he said, oh, Black people try to have their own community. I said, and what happened? Oh, the white people took it down. I said, when, where, and how? And he pulls up this thing where Black people tried to put a community together, because y'all know that the white people did some community. They put it together and everybody had a fit, right? Then sat here and showed it to me. I said, well, what happened? He said, oh, it looked like they didn't finish. I said, well, that's a sight different than what the hell it is that you said. So finish the shit. I mean, I'm not going to live there, but finish the shit. Why they didn't finish it? Oh, I don't know. Child, don't come to me with that mess. It's 2026, child. You got your own communities where y'all live together. It's the hood. It's over there where FDMG is, and why I won't go there at night. Y'all go early in the morning when the dealers are allegedly asleep to try to see what's going on over there. I bet you won't go to a Sundance town, and I won't. And I ain't going to the hood either. And moving on, because I'm not stupid.
With forked tongue, because we're looking for an excuse why we're not successful instead of just doing what we got to do. Life is hard for everybody. There's plenty of white people every single day that's suffering.
What? Life is not hard, Anton. What are you talking about? Anton says that life is hard. You know who says that they should be able to do what they want whenever they want and they should be happy? Is I'm happy. They singing that song every day. Z's. And their parents ain't parenting them, and they probably passing it on to A's. You're supposed to be happy every second of the day, every moment of your life. What I tell y'all, the happiest I ever been in my life was when I was with my grandmothers. The happiest times of my life. Oh, what about your kids? Yeah, they all right, but they not the happiest. I'm sorry, the happiest time of my life was when I lived with my grandmothers. Not a care in the world. They took care of everything. I didn't know if I was rich. I didn't know if I was poor. I just knew that I was cared for. I was loved at all times. And I had 2 people who loved me so much that I didn't even know nothing about an outside world. Nothing. Best, happiest times of my life. I'm not saying I've never been happy with my kids and my family. That's not true. I just said the happiest time of my life. And anybody who comes out here and is an adult and has to pay bills and has to do whatever you got to do, which you got to do it, and says that makes you happy, cool. That makes you happy. That's what makes you happy. If that's the happiest time of your life, then let that be the happiest time of your life. Oh, is that when you had your kids? No, that was painful. Having a baby is not fun. Anybody have a baby around here? Did you have any fun while you was in labor? Did you have any fun when your stomach got cut open if you had that? Did you have fun when you had an episiotomy? Did you have fun when you were there pushing? That was not fun. That's why I didn't want to do it again. So I'm just saying, we put this shit in perspective, okay? Not a care in the world when I was a child. And adults think that that's how life is supposed to be. That's just not how it works. That's just not how it works. You come out here, you're an adult, you got to work for your shit. They want shit to be given to them. That's just not how it works. That's what I say. Prince, thank you, boo. He said Japan was nuked twice. They don't make excuses. Well, they're not American. They're not FBAs. They were never slaves. I'm sure those will be some of the excuses. But I hear you, boo. I hear you. But I'm sure there'll be the excuses.
They on drugs. They highly medicated. They on government assistance. More white people are on government assistance than any black person, any black culture, any part of black culture in the United States of America. Life is hard for everybody. Either you a winner or you a loser. And it's no way that I'm ever gonna find myself in a losing category because I refuse to. I'm just gonna work. I'm gonna outwork you. I'm gonna out hustle you. I'm gonna study more than you. I'm gonna do everything that I can to beat you.
Study? That probably means reading. And it sounds like he read Stephen A.'s book. And now Jamal said it, don't get mad at me. You ninjas don't read, so he got to put it in video for ya. Reading is fundamental. Shout out to Generation X. You'll learn more there. Try to send you to some people. They all racist, child. Y'all keep getting your information from blogs, child. Keep getting y'all's information from blogs.
I can relate to that. Anton Daniels right here with Stephen A. So when Trump goes about the business of at least appearing to, the Smithsonian Museum and stuff like that, and basically trying to block access in some people's eyes to black history and stuff like that, you don't have any issues with things of that nature. You don't find yourself questioning anything about Trump that makes you say, now that's not necessary. You don't need to do that. Or, anything that'll make you say, I don't think he's looking out for the black community nearly as much as he should. Nothing at all.
I think.
Why is all this focus on what was it all this focus on what Joe Biden was doing for the black community, Bueller? Did I miss it, y'all? Bueller? Well, what was all this of what did Joe Biden do for the black community? What did Obama do for the black community? What did George Bush do? What did William Jefferson Clinton do for the black community? Where is all this coming from? Labor and delivery not fun. Stitching in sensitive areas. 0 out of 10 wouldn't recommend. Woo! Shout out to real women who know about having children. I had both. Now listen, a C-section was better because of the epidural, but I don't want neither one. That's why I'm out here sweating like a sweat hog every time I go to the damn gym because of them two. Child, I'm just saying. I wouldn't recommend it either. 0 out of 10. No, I was not happy having babies, child. Have one and let me know. Come back to me after you have one, all right? Come back to me. Yo, Prime said his grandmother had 12. All of ours had like 12, 15, 20 kids. I'm telling you, my grandmother probably, I think it was like, because some died, but I believe it was like 11 or 12 as well. Because that's all the freak they did was freaking have babies, okay? But then they also stayed home, cared for them, clothed them, did their hair, made their food, and took care of the household too. Let's not forget that part. They did all that too. I'm just saying.
I think that he's done more for the black community than any president before him, especially in my lifetime. Like, it's a regular question. It's an ongoing question. Before I even start to address Trump and how he permanently funded HBCUs, while he's working on birthright citizenship, that's literally that was for slaves. That shouldn't even exist at this point. How he created opportunity zones in his first election, in his first term in office, in order for us to invest in our own communities. We can go down the line on different things that he's done specifically for black people. The better question is when you compare and contrast and you pay attention to somebody like Barack Obama, who's endeared to the black community because he can sing, I love his jeans, he wears mom jeans, and he's a smooth brother. But when you ask yourself the question, what specifically did he do for black people? You come up with nothing. Zero, zilch, nada. So how can we hold Trump to a standard that we don't even hold?
But you just acknowledged Trump.
Oh, the colors is not going like this, child. The colors is not going like this. Shout out to Gemini in the building. Thank you, boo. I see you. I appreciate you. Shout out to Ali. Yeah, please make sure you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Shout out to Fa. Thank you, boo. He said 92% of black women and 78% of black men voted against Trump. But here, the most entitled and highest expectations for the candidates that 85% of us voted against. Make it make sense. Child. I got nothing for you. No, I know what you mean. Make it make sense. I know. I don't know, child. Thank you, boo. Grandma was the strongest generation. I agree. Shout out to Elsie. I see you, boo. I agree. Grandmothers of yesteryear, absolutely. I'm not even a grandmother like that, y'all. I'm not even going to act like I am. I'm not a grandmother like mine was. But the caring and empathy and the sympathy and being here for my grandchildren and my children. And if they need me, I'm there. If they call me, I answer. That type of stuff. I struggle a lot of times, y'all. Let me tell you something. I struggle when they call me and they want something and I know damn well that I shouldn't do it. Trust me when I tell you, because I want to give them everything. But they also got to learn. They have to learn on their own. They got to grow up. They got to be adults. I'm talking about my children. And not necessarily my grandchildren, but I'm talking about my children. And they still got lessons to learn. So they're going to have to learn. So if I'm going to make my own kids learn still, this is why I don't feel bad. It's a tough decision and it hurts me because I want to tell them yes and give them everything. But it can't work that way, or else I wouldn't be treating them appropriately so that they can do right for themselves, but do right for their children when the time comes. You cannot always say yes. You cannot always say yes. If you don't know what adversity is, and that's not saying that somebody wants to make you go through something, but sometimes you need to go through something to appreciate what you get on the other side. And a lot of people don't like that and they don't believe in that. And that's why you got these entitled ass, bum ass, gremlin ass kids now, because YouTube is wanting to give them everything because you want them out of your hair. You it's not even because I feel like you want them not to suffer. You just want them out of your face. You're not even teaching them lessons. You're not even guiding them. And that's still a part of it, even when they're out of the house, y'all. I'm telling you. I struggle all the time. But I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm going to make it so that you can be dependent. You need to be independent. That's not a bad word. And you need to do these things with your children's fathers, not with us. Bill Cosby said that one time. I'm gonna let this play. Bill Cosby said that one time on an episode of the Cosby Show when they was talking to Denise, and I do believe it was, we watched that time that she wanted to run out there and buy this car because she had this money, meaning Denise. And Claire laid her out first, which is what she was supposed to do. And then Cliff said, he explained and said, it's nice to have a safety net, isn't it? We do it so well, you don't even know we're there and doing it for you. And our children have that, whether they realize it or not. So they can't always get what they want, because you need to learn how to build your own safety net, and you need to learn how to handle some shit, because we're not going to always be here. But people don't want to do that. People don't want to be responsible like that. But that's just me.
United States of America.
But you just acknowledged earlier what Obama inherited. You understand what I'm saying? That you could get to the Affordable Care Act, 24 million people. I'm sorry, 24 million additional people on have healthcare insurance. You could put, some people will point to that. Some people will point to that.
The healthcare system as it stands today, the Department of Education as it stands today, it is all horrible. It is bad. And again, we diverting away from the question, what specifically did he do for Black people? Because we hold Trump to a standard that we don't even hold Obama to.
That's good.
Nobody can point to one thing. I can tell you what he did for the LGBTQ community, though.
What did Obama do for you colors, Bueller? Anton asked the question. It don't look like Stephen A is going to be answering it. What did Obama do for ya, Bueller? Messed up my FSA and HSA with the Obamacare. But there's people that think that everybody should have insurance. You know how you get insurance? You get a job. You get a job. That's how I have insurance. Praise the Lord. Medicaid is there. Medicare is for elders. That's probably a good way. Probably a good way. He bought you catfish for lunch. Not a damn thing. He definitely did reel that back in. Shout out to Anton. He definitely did reel him right back in. Oh, yes! The phone. Shout out to Lonnie for the win. Yes. I forgot about that. I mean, I didn't get one, though. I didn't want one. I was paying for my iPhone at the time. But yes, he did give out free phones. Shout out to Obama. That's good. That's good. Lonnie wins. Lonnie wins.
Fair enough. You're moving deeper in the political commentary, obviously. Elections, Trump, Black conservative space. Are you your...
So obviously, you know, Muskegee, tell us. Do tell. Do tell. Do tell. Do tell. I'll wait. I mean, I'm gonna let it play, but let us know what Obama did, okay? For blacks, because honestly, what people do, they do it for all Americans. It's not specifically for blacks anyway. So it really is a silly thing to say, which is why the people in California that's all like, oh, they're going to give us reparations. We believe that black people have been disproportionately affected and they haven't been able to get houses. And we want to make sure that they have money so that they can put down for a down payment. And I'm like, that shit is already there. How do I know? I use it every time I buy a house. So why don't y'all know? Why don't y'all know? Maybe because you don't want to listen to people like Dave Ramsey, Susie Orman. Child, let me go ahead and say Orlando Minor or Pocket Watching with JT. So in other words, you're not going to give us anything. You're going to be typical and just say shit that ain't answering the question. That's what you're going to do? I said, let us know, since you clearly want to tell us. Tell us. Tell us. I'm waiting. Go ahead. Let us know. What did he do? Again, I don't think that anybody does anything specifically for black people. They just do it for Americans. But black people are waiting for something to be signed, sealed, delivered to your home and say black, and then open it up, and then it has this happen there, and your life is supposed to change.
Self becoming a political figure in your mind, or is politics just content?
No, I'm deep into it. I don't think that you can divest from it because it's a lifestyle. So, for example, I believe you should live and be a reflection of whatever it is that you stand for, right? And this is why I hold a lot of people accountable for some of the things that they say.
The low-hanging fruit is coming. The low-hanging fruit is coming for this segment.
Because it's like, well, your life isn't a reflection of it, right? Let's say, for example, the relationship space. And everybody can have commentary on a relationship, but very few people have been successful at relationships long.
Child! Did I talk about, is this a conversation from earlier today? I feel like I talked about this already. All these people always want to talk about relationships, right? They ain't even got one. Ain't even been in a long ass relationship, talking to the wrong ass people. Shout out to Kendra Gilliams. I want to get married. Let me talk to a non-married woman. Let me talk to a woman who got scammed. Let me talk to a woman who is happily single. That's who I should be getting relationship advice from. I know people don't want to listen to me either. I know people want to listen to me. Like, imagine being married for over 30 years, and then you got somebody telling you how to be in a relationship. Child, you wasn't even married for 5 minutes, and how the hell you gonna tell me? I believe that I might know a little bit more than you. But you know, some people just know that they know, and they in charge, and they know everything. Oh, okay, you know everything? Well, why the hell you ain't been in a significant relationship since you know everything? I know, it's everybody else's fault, child. Same old crap, different situation. Instead of listening to Maggie, the substitute teacher, and Luke Hazley, shout out to them. Nah, child, just go ahead and keep listening to Kendra Gilliams or child, that other girl, I forget her name. Maybe you'll get lucky and be that one couple that we just saw a few weeks ago from Pop the Balloon that met and got married or got engaged after 5 months. Shout out to them. I follow them on Facebook. They're doing very well. I'm so happy to see it. Yeah. Just pick the wrong things at all time. That is a problem. That is a problem. Listen to child. Shout out to Fatty. They over there. I don't know what they're talking about over there, but just from being on that panel a couple of times and then asking me a question, I answer the question and they're going to tell me that my answer is not right. Like, how are you going to tell me that's not the right answer for my life? What are we talking about? Because dudes over there, they just want to be combative and they're going to put some woman in her place. Child, you could go ahead and put me in your place, put me in whatever place you want to. I will hang up on this motherfucker. I'm not about to sit here and argue with y'all about my life. Why would I argue with you about my life? This is what it is. This is how it works. I might have a clue or two, whether y'all want to believe it or not, just because the bitches that you deal with ain't shit, ain't never gonna be shit, wasn't never gonna be shit, but y'all choose to deal with those people. Good fucking luck. Good fucking luck. Have at it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. I don't give a damn. I don't have to deal with you or her. Don't argue. I'm not arguing my life with you. Shit, child, some of these people are out of their damn mind. Yeah, boo. Ashley Dalton. Yes, that's exactly who it is. I forgot her name, child. I do not miss doing none of them shows, y'all. I gotta be honest with you. I don't.
long-term or been successfully married. So I give a little bit more credence to the person that's a reflection of it. Or you could say a preacher, right? Who would go and listen to a preacher that's not a reflection of the thing that they preach? Once that preacher gets exposed, then it's all downhill from there, right? So when I say that I'm moving deeper into the political sphere, I don't think it's a limit for me, honestly. I mean, at some point, I'll be honest with you. And one of the reasons why I'm still here in Michigan, I got Detroit on my back right there. And shout out to everybody that's in Detroit. I might run for office. The only reason that I haven't so far is because it would limit my financial ability to really add value to my family at this point.
There we go. So you relate. To all the news out there. Hell, I ain't giving up that money. I ain't giving up that money there, Anton. It ain't happening. I work too hard to get this money. I'm not giving it.
That's where working with one another comes into play. And that's why people need to pay attention to who the hell it is that they put into office. This is not just a blank. If you don't have the House and the Senate, then you won't get anything passed. Fuck that, okay? They all need to work together. Those MFers go out and drink. I don't care what nobody say. They go out to eat. They be in the same spaces talking to each other. They can talk about the shit that they be doing. The problem right now is that everybody wants to be so staunch, whatever they want to be, to our detriment, the American people that they claim to care about and that they know everything about. Then people put the same damn people back into office just because of name recognition. Nobody takes a look at what the hell it is that they have done or haven't done to make their lives better or worse, and then keep putting the same people back in there. They keep playing the same games. They keep getting rich, but no one wants to acknowledge that or see that. That's not an excuse. That I'm not trying to hear none of that. If people, one of the things in my job that I need to know what to do is to be able to work with a variety of people. As a project manager, I have to work with a variety of people, whether I like them or not. And trust me when I tell you, plenty of them I don't like. So if the people are not going to cause a fuss and say, get this shit done, I feel like they kind of did with this TSA situation, but it took a little too damn long, as far as I'm concerned, still, in order to get that shit taken care of. They're going to continue to do what they do. They're going to continue to fleece all of them all in. They're going to continue to go for what it is that they know. We've seen plenty of mayors do it. We know there's plenty of council people that do it. All this stuff going on in government, those people that's in there, enough of them are full of shit. They stealing shit. They taking shit, and they ain't giving a damn about none of us. So I'm not trying to hear that. Obama had both and a better economy before C-19. Obama came in with the crash, so he didn't have or are you saying Trump had his good economy? Oh, right before COVID. Okay, so when he first got it, it was not good at all. I remember that like it was yesterday. You remember Cash for Clunkers, y'all? That just cannot go out of my mind. Cash for Clunkers, where you could give a car up and they would give you money for it, regardless if it ran or not, to try to get the economy stimulated. Child will never forget that. Cash for Clunkers, child. Yeah, he had to deal with the crash, the housing market crash, the credit card shit, the economy was shit, everything was shit. I will give Obama credit for getting that shit back together. I will definitely give him credit for that, okay? Because that economy was a mess, child. It was a mess, child. Even though you could see it coming a mile away. Didn't know it would be that bad, but you could see that shit coming a mile away. Kind of like Orlando is letting people know that something is coming, but nobody want to listen. All right.
It up, bro. I'm not ready for that. The politicians are asking for the money we making. Why would I give that up? Why would I give that up?
Because I believe that, you truly have to be a public servant. I don't like the political landscape. I think that Congress, it aggravates me that Congress still gets paid while they control the purse strings to the country, and TSA agents ain't getting paid. I believe that they need term limits. It's a lot of things that I think needs to happen. But more importantly, I believe that the true heart of what we do politically is what we do locally. I know we focus a lot on what's happening nationally. We focus on Congress. We focus on the president. We focus on the Senate. But we really need to be focusing on millages. We need to be focusing on policy that's happening inside of these cities. I see what's happening in New York. They promised y'all a lot, but now they're looking to raise property tax values maybe 10%, right? I think that local politics is more meaningful than what's happening on a national scale.
Got you. Before I let you get on out of here, just a few more questions. When you think about what you've done and what has resonated most, some people would think it's you and Corey Holcomb. Some people would think it's your politics. I mean, what was it? What was it for you? I mean, what that experience? I watched it. I ain't got too much to say about it. I ain't trying to get in that mess.
I'm surprised. You should.
Well, listen, man. Listen. Cats gonna talk, and I'm like this. I got mad respect for how you handled yourself. I tell you that much. I got mad respect for how you handled yourself, and I think that it was a good conversation ultimately. But clearly things almost went off the rails, and I'm glad it did it because that wouldn't have been a good look for two brothers.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
So, what were your thoughts? First of all, how have things been since that happened? And most importantly, do you like being popular for stuff like that, or is there something else you like being popular for more?
I don't care about what I get popular for. I just think that I need to become more popular. And the reason that is because I think that once people discover you and they start to do a deep dive into what your conversation is or what your content is, that's the thing that then resonates with them. So people go viral every single day, for different reasons, but they're one-hit wonders or they fall off because they don't have anything that's relevant that allows for people to still follow them and keep them. So popularity and getting the word out and becoming more visible is necessary in order for you to be successful financially, is necessary in order for you to be successful as far as getting the word out or what it is that you're trying to change as far as the culture. So it doesn't matter to me. Politics, popular culture, I'll take it all.
But the algorithm,
I don't believe that there's any such thing as bad news.
But the algorithm rewards the most provocative version of yourself. True. So how do you make sure that the version that goes viral is also the version that's the most accurate?
Well, I don't care about which version goes viral because people gonna do what they're gonna do, right? So I look at it as I put the medicine inside of the candy. The entertainment is why they discover you. The medicine and what you do for them is how they stick around, right? And so I don't worry about what people do with it. Like, for example, there's plenty of people that'll take what you say or they'll react to what somebody else played of you, but they won't go to the original source and find out the full context as to why you said what you said. Now, you can't teach that. It's a certain type of person that's gonna go to the original source and wanna watch the whole thing, right? I'm the type of person that I wanna read your whole book because I wanna understand the mindset as to why you did it when you did it. You can't teach that. So people are going to discover you and they're going to take the information and they're going to do whatever it is that they're going to do. I can't control that. The only thing I'm going to do is keep doing what I'm doing.
Last question. I said this on a recent interview that I did. It's like, to me personally, I've always been partial to Black conservatives in this regard. I think that Black conservatives have been victimized. No matter how many times I went to the poll and voted for a Democrat, it always disgusted me that the default position is you must be a sellout if you are a Black conservative, as opposed to hearing why one of my best friends is a diehard Black Republican. He left the Democratic Party in 1996, and he has not looked back in the last 30 years. Diehard. And he's in my face all the time, talking to me about every little thing that the liberals do wrong. He just see, and he just, my phone blowing up all the damn time with him. And I've always been partial from the standpoint, I don't give a damn how supportive I was with the Democratic Party. I've always been, wait a minute, why did he say or she say that?
Yeah.
Why did he feel that way? Let's hear what they have to say, and based on that, I will make my decision about how I feel. Not automatically my default position is they ain't down for Black people. They don't care. Do you ever see that kind of mentality being rectified, particularly in this day and age, considering how hostile things are?
Never. It'll never go away.
It'll never go away.
I watched this past weekend Boys in the Hood. And it's so funny because as I watched that movie, and it came out in the early 90s, I also watched New Jack City and I watched Menace to Society. And we did like a film study. We got this little group that we do a film study. And what I realized is that we haven't changed as a culture since the early 90s. We have the same narrative. We have the same talking points. We look at women the same. We look at the system the same. We have not changed. The hood is the same as it was back then. Everything is literally the same. Now, that was the 90s. We are in 2026, and our children, the culture, people that have never experienced racism before in their life, is claiming racism and saying that the system is against them, and they haven't even lived life long enough to see what the system is. Their brains aren't even fully developed because your brain isn't fully developed until you're in your mid-20s. They're automatically teaching racism, and they're teaching victim Olympics to them, and it's a generational curse that we continue to pass down, and we continue to pass down. I don't think that it's ever going away. I don't think that it'll ever go away until the end of this earth. I never see it going away. Racism will be a part of the conversation. Gentrification will be a part of the conversation. Systematic oppression will be a part of the conversation. All of these are talking points and terms that we use to justify why we are in the place that we are. I don't see it happening. The only thing that you can do as an individual is to do your part, get the beam out of your own eye, and be a reflection of the thing that you advocate for. They can call me a sellout, but everybody that works for me is Black. And 80% of them are women.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. You mean to tell me that Anton employs Black people and most of them are women and it's still a problem? Jean Lay, thank you so much, boo. I see you. I appreciate you. So kind. Shout out to all of y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you. You mean to tell me that he's employing black people and women? No. No, that's not allowed. That's not allowed. Sellout. You're a sellout, Anton. You be lying. You mean all them women that we see on the panel? You mean all them dudes we see on the panel? Oh, don't forget that the women are under Anton's spell, even though he a peanut head and he ugly. They all under his spell, child. Remember, I forget, which show we watched where they said that. I think it was Tawana, actually. She said that, remember? Just saying.
I'm saying, is it about your talking point or is it about what your life is like?
Right.
So I don't pay attention to it. My goal is to save who I can, add value where I can, and make as much money as I can.
Last question to you. If you had your way and you got to impact me and my mode of thinking or what I choose to articulate or whatever, what would you do? What would you do, Anton? If you put me in one of them spin things and just tried to change me up, what would you do to me, Anton? What would you do?
Honestly, it's a difficult question because I understand your position and I'm looking at it from your lens, right? So, for example, I understand that you're wearing multiple hats and you're crossing boundaries when it comes to sports, politics, popular culture. I watch everything that you want. I read your book, obviously. I look at the podcast that you go and visit and how you talk about your life and even relationships and things like that. And so you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place because I believe that one of the reasons why you are so successful is that you're able to navigate through all of these different lenses while at the same time not alienating anybody in particular. To answer your question with that context, I would push you to be 100% hardcore Republican and standing on that. Because I think that it's the right thing to do, and I think it's the true representation of what Black people originally are. We are a party, we originally from the Republican Party, right? We are conservative people. Everything that we do, from the way that we live our lives to the money that we make, and even how it is that we raise our children, we are supposed to be a conservative people. So if you're asking me what I would tell you to do from a moral perspective, I would say to lean more into conservatism and to be a Republican. If you're asking me what I would tell you to do as far as making sure that you impact the most people possible, especially whatever your future prospects is, I'm hearing that you're thinking about Mullen running for office one day, then I would tell you to continue to do exactly what you're doing. But it depends on the path that you're trying to take long term.
Great answer. Look, my man, I appreciate the time. It was a great conversation. Glad to finally meet.
Shout out to Stephen A. and Anton for having the conversation. Have the conversation. Let's not forget that part. Shout out to JR over on Lapeef Chow. Anyway, so yeah, that's that. That's pretty good. Good stuff. Shout out to Anton. I think he did a good job. I've seen a couple people do reviews. I've seen BCP do a review, and I'm sure after it gets out that there will be a lot more people with a lot more things to say, which will have him have more visibility, as he says, and more fodder for the rest to talk about. But yeah, y'all, that was 2 more hours, child. I'm good though. Shout out to y'all for hanging in there. I appreciate you. Tomorrow, like I said, I'm not going to do the morning tomorrow. I don't even know if I'm going to do a show tomorrow. We'll see. So it might be the afternoon. So keep an eye out. Notifications if you don't have them on. I appreciate y'all. Hit the like button if you haven't. Subscribe if you are new. If you're on the replay, hit the hype button. Share the video. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to all the channel members. Thank you so much. Shout out to all the mods. I see you. I appreciate you. Yeah. Thank you so much. Shout out to everyone that donated today. I see you. I appreciate you. All of y'all. If I could take the time to go over everyone, I would. Stream sponsor Prince Revolver. Thank you so much, hun. Shout out to all of y'all, though. I appreciate you. Have a good evening. Happy Saturday, y'all. I see you all in the next